Morty's Diner. Hot coffee without the toxic sludge.
Well, hello there. Hey, everyone. Hello, all one person out there. Two people. Fantastic. All right. End of the year. Unbelievable. Worst year ever. I say that at the end of every year, and each time, each subsequent year, it's true. This year was the worst ever. I have nothing to look forward to for next year. It'll be worse than this year. But enough of that optimism. Let's get into tonight's topics. Hello, Spring. If the rule you followed brought you to this, of what use was the rule? Anton Chigurh. Yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't understand that character at all, or the movie, and that thing he was carrying with the air tank, and you know, I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. So we're here to take a break from the usual routine. Let me pop some drugs here. Hold on. Maybe I'll take more than usual tonight. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I think Tommy Lee Jones was excellent in that film. And I liked the character of, what's the guy's name? Josh Brolin that he played. It was very good. But I just didn't get into the movie at all. All right. So we got a few things to mention. And, but there's no rush. What am I doing? I don't know. Tonight's show is entitled Tuesday Night at Morty's Diner. There's no way out. Oh boy, that's a topic. I'll get into that a little later. Maybe when we get 10 or 15 people, then I'll get into that. In the meantime, let's see, what else? Oh, here's a picture of all the YouTubers on New Year's Eve. Yeah. A world with no rush is a beautiful thing to contemplate. Oh, you mean the band Rush? Well, I have nothing against the three guys in the band, but the music is awful, especially Tom Sawyer and Spirit of the Radio, or whatever it's called. Patrick, AD Never Calling, that's his favorite band in the world. But there's no accounting for taste. Good evening, Big Meech. Hello, my good friend. He says, here's some free money. And he's got a little sack of cash there. Thank you very much. Meech, there's never been a time in my entire life where I need money more than today. So please send thousands of dollars, Cash App or PayPal. We can keep it confidential if you want. 1,000, 5,000, 20,000, whatever you can afford. Thank you very much. And I'll personally fly out to Michigan or Minnesota, wherever you are, and I'll treat you to dinner at Culver's at some point in the future, assuming I can do that. How's that for a deal? Thank you, Big Meech. Oh. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and just begin the show. All right. So, I mean, so let's move on in the pictures. And let's talk about the Watch Nicholas channel. Why not? Meech is here. So here's your typical Watch Nicholas. Well, here's your YouTube viewer in general, but your Watch Nicholas team member. Okay. And so what's become of the Watch Nicholas channel? Maybe some of you are wondering. Since I left and many people left after he brought on, that guy onto the show and welcomed him with spread legs. Well, here's what's happening. Here's the latest on the Watch Nicholas channel. This is the talent lineup he's got. This is his programming. You got Ross Rachel Brady and Marcello time with the bird on his head. There it is. And he's asking the audience to send money for GoDaddy, Ko-Fi, Cash App, Venmo, Patreon, and Bitcoin. So if you want to enjoy this kind of content, if this is what you want to watch, the inimitable Ross Rachel Brady and Marcello time with the bird shitting on his head, then check out the Watch Nicholas channel. This is what it's become this is what it's turned into at the end of the year. It's it's all true. I mean, this is true. It's pretty amazing. What does this say? Oh, the free money. Oh, thank you, Meech. Thank you so much. Hello, Gampers. Hey, Gampers, what's the report on snowfall in New York City or Long Island? What kind of snowfall has there been in the last week? Can you update us on that? I would appreciate it. How come I'm not going to say that. That's that. Leave that topic alone, right? Oh. Campers, I bought a new brand of sardines. I've seen it around. I may have bought it once years ago, but a year or two ago, Nori, N-U-R-I. And it was a special limited edition. I'm not joking. And it was extra super fancily wrapped. And going to get some rye bread. I bought some red onions. I got to get some tomatoes. I got to get a tomato to slice up a tomato on it as well. Okay, here we go. Central Park got 4 inches Friday into Saturday. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Now, Gampers, when I go to New York next month, where do you want to meet up so you can buy me a meal or a cup of coffee or a knish? And or maybe I'll pay on my own. If I can count out the pennies and nickels, I can buy my own. Yeah. I was going to work Saturday morning right after it stopped. Got in a cab and it was already a mess. It rained Monday and now it's all gone. Oh, really? It's all gone. Oh, too bad. Well, there'll be more. For when I got home was already, because it's a slush or it's just all gone, completely gone. Yeah. You want to meet at H&H Bagel? How about Monk's Coffee Shop? Or Papaya Hot Dog? What's it called? The Papaya Hot Dog place? The soup place is gone. The guy left New York, right? So I can't meet you there. Well, if you're paying, I'll eat any food. Just not spicy and not Indian food. Too smelly and spicy. Smelly in that I don't like the fragrances. I just don't. I can't appreciate them. Whatever the spices are called, the soup Nazi. Yeah, he left. Barney Greengrass. That would be pretty nice. Yeah. Boy, that's expensive. Probably $30 for a lox and bagel. How about Russ and Daughters? Get a black and white cookie and a coffee. Maybe a couple rainbow cookies. You know, I watched. There is no Indian equivalent of Panda Express. That says it all. Boy, isn't that interesting? You know, I've never seen one like that, a place like that. I will go to Katz's Deli because I've never been to that particular place, and I want to do a full. I want to walk around Lower East Side. I got some places I want to see in that area, and so I'll go to Russ and Daughters and to Katz's Deli. They're right in that area. So I watched a video a day or two ago, a very recent video of just some guy doing a walk around of New York City Chinatown. And holy cow! I mean, I haven't been to Chinatown, and I don't remember the last time. 1980s probably. And holy man, does it look different? Man, it's nothing like it looked 40 years ago, obviously, or 100 years ago, which would have been 1925, 1910, 1920s. I know what it looked like then, and I know what it looked like in the 60s, 70s, 80s, but man, it looks so different now. Must be all the Somalian influence. The Somalian influencers. Yeah, I'll get some pizza when I'm there as well. So this brings us to the next topic. The show title, there's Tuesday night at Morty's Diner, there's no way out. Okay. I heard that New York's Chinatown is still a good place for Chinese food. Chinatown in LA is almost all gone. Well, I haven't been there since 20 years ago. I had a date with a Chinese girl from Shanghai who was visiting, and we went to she was staying at a motel down there, so I went down and we met at a Chinese place for lunch. This is a true story. Then quite attractive, very attractive woman. We got along great. In fact, I remember when it was 2007. Yeah. And we had a very nice lunch, and then we walked back. We walked around, and then we walked back to the hotel or motel she was staying at. And we just sat around and chatted, and the next thing you know, we're both in bed. Her body was just magnificent, just incredible. Sex was great, very, very great. And no, we didn't smoke cigarettes after the sex. And yeah, terrific. Just great. Yeah. True story. Little Tokyo. I spent a lot of time in Little Tokyo. I mean, a lot of time. And yeah, I can imagine it's not what it was, clearly. Well, LA is just a shithole now. People who live there have no idea. I mean, they're blissfully unaware, blissfully ignorant. I mean, the liberal Democrats who live there, they think it's a fantastic place, but they have no idea because they're, psychologically disordered with liberalism. Okay, so first topic. I titled the show "There's No Way Out." Yeah, I decided there's no way out from my debt, which is just crushing my soul and my life. So at this point, frankly, Senator, at this point, what difference does it make? I've decided just go ahead and spend money, just buy stuff, you know, and put it on my credit cards, like the New York trip and the Grand Canyon trip. What am I doing with this picture here? I can't get it. There we go. And oh, yeah, I'll get that in a second. And just do all these things, you know. Go do the New York trip, do the Grand Canyon trip, put it on the credit card, build up the thing, because it doesn't matter anymore at this point. I can't pay off the debt I have now, so I won't be able to pay off the debt that I have after those trips. It'll, you know, lower my credit score significantly, I'm sure. But who cares at this point? It doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters anymore. You know, with me. So that's the plan. So we'll be going to New York and the Grand Canyon, and maybe London, England, by way of Reykjavik, Iceland, because one of the airlines that I was looking at, it would be LA. It would be Portland or LA, probably LA to New York. Transfer and take New York to Heathrow by way of Reykjavik, which, you know, I could stay over one night there. That would be pretty incredible, you know. Nihilist Morty. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, that's correct. Spring, a friend of my mom's planned to spend her credit card to the limit until she left this earth. Right, exactly. However, I understand credit card companies are lowering their limits for seniors to combat this. Well, I still have pretty good credit limits, so I'm going to just maximize them out, baby, because I feel like that's where I'm at. So, yeah, the credit card companies got wise to all those old people doing it, taking their last trip to Europe and not giving a shit. Charge up those 5-star dinners and hotels and take a 2-3 month trip and then just, you know, bike off the credit card bill. Who gives a shit? You know, that's the right strategy for me now, you know. So, by the way, on the Watch Nicholas channel, I've noticed, I mean, I've been getting hate every day. I mean, on the other channels, Nicholas and the other channels. I mean, just nonstop. I mean, it stops, but it's intermittent, but it's every day. Hate, insults, put downs. Then, of course, there's the racist comments, the anti-Semitic comments, now there's Hitler comments, you know, which aren't directed at me, but, you know, they love Hitler. You know, these people, they think Hitler was a good guy. So let's look at the next picture. But this is actually absolutely true. When I do click on one of those other channels, I swear, and this is the truth, within, if it's not already, you know, happening, in a minute or two of the 3 or 4 minutes I stay there, they're talking about me, or somebody's posting a chat comment about me, or someone on the panel is screaming and, you know, tearing me apart. This is absolutely true. So I clicked onto one of the channels, and look what pops up. So next screen share. And I wasn't even there a minute or two, and this is the Watch Nicholas show, hosted by Marcelo. This is a day or two ago. There's the title. And I click it on, and I'm looking at the chat, and look at this comment here from a guy, from some guy named Lucas P. Hammer. Cello, meaning Marcelo. Cello, grab a screenshot off Morty's current live stream. He had the chart there. I mean, Breitling's YouTube personalities rankings chart that Bateman showed 1 or 2 days ago. So I don't know who this guy Lucas is, but his life is so incel, masturbating, meaningless that he found that this was extremely important to put here. Hey, Marcelo, grab a screenshot right away of Morty's live stream. He had Bateman's chart up there. Okay. Isn't that fascinating? But look at the next comment on the same show about a minute or two later. Is this the same show? Nicholas all the time. Happy holidays. Yeah, same show. Look at this. From our friend, or, Dr. Bob's Nightmare. Morty wouldn't like people showing screenshots of Morty's charts, the hypocrisy. See, that comment doesn't make any sense, but he can't hold back the urge to make an anti-Morty point. It's actually anti, but anti-Morty point. Now, Dr. Bob, watch Nicholas' channel, Doc's Report channel. I mean, channel after channel after channel, Marcello Time channel have shown content, live content, simultaneously live content while I was on the show. Marcello's done that, and others, and screenshots of my content. Okay. And I've shown when I'm talking about a particular show, I might bring up I've brought up a screenshot of a show and talked about it to reference the exact moment. So there's nothing new there. What I don't do, Dr. Bob, is I don't take a screenshot or content of somebody else's show and then say, hey, I'll show this for a super chat. So I don't make money off of other people's content in that regard. I don't solicit super chats to show screenshots or clips of other people's content. You get it? You get it, Dr. Bob? There's nothing wrong with taking a screenshot of somebody's show and talking about it. People have done that to me for 7 years on my channel. Unbelievable, but he just had to get that in there. Morty wouldn't like people showing screenshots of Morty's charts. Well, if somebody screenshots my show and talks about it, which happens all the time, that's one thing. When they go, hey, who wants to see that Morty thing? Make a $5 super chat. Well, then you see you're getting into a different area. That's theft of IP, intellectual property, copyrighted content, original content. But I got more to say about that when I do the hate compilation shows coming up later. I just wanted to get that out of the way. And that's nothing. That's nothing compared to what I see, on the hate channels. There's fair use, and then there's fair use. And what they do is not fair use, and I'll explain that. Or maybe I won't explain it. But nobody cares what I say anyway, so it doesn't matter. We got 6 people, so we're doing great. Now, here's that watch that I talked about. That watch Nicholas got wrong. He said, oh, Morty's going to buy a Grand Seiko. You see that? He wants to buy a Grand Seiko. And I covered that on my last show. I'm not buying a Grand Seiko. I'm not even, this is the watch I was talking about. I put a Grand Seiko in the thumbnail because it's such a nice looking watch, but this is the Presage Seiko, $940. And I said, I'm not going to buy it because I don't want to spend $940 when I have so much debt that's crushing me into the ground where I can't even breathe. But this is the watch I said I would buy if I had any money, or I had money to splurge on a trinket like this. Well, with my new approach today about, I don't care anymore. Just charge everything up. Charge up the New York trip, the hotels, the airplane, the food, charge it all up, charge up the Grand Canyon trip. I'm going to buy this watch. I might do it tonight after the show. I'll see if Joma Shop sells it because it is a brand new watch. It's only a couple of months old. Released, from Seiko. But it's $940. Yeah, I'm going to buy it. Just put it on the Amex and fuck it, Yeah. So this is the Seiko SPB525. I think it's great. And I'll wear this when I go traveling. I don't go, not driving, traveling. to New York and Grand Canyon, and maybe my my everyday watch. And it's great. Here's another picture of it. The bracelet, maybe I'll like it. I don't know. I can always put it on a black leather strap. So, but yeah, there it is. So I'm going to buy the watch. I'm going to stick it on my Amex and fuck it. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter anymore. It's the nihilist in me. Gildan. Fair use, and fair use. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, these legal scholars on all these channels have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. But, whatever. So I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy more firearms, more ammo, take the New York trip, Grand Canyon trip. Going to buy this Seiko watch. And whatever else pops in my mind. Yeah. Tickle my talk. Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you, Tickle. Happy New Year to everybody. Next picture. Yeah, that's the SPB525. I'll take a look at some legitimate watch stores like Feldmar's in Los Angeles, and there's one in Burlingame, California, Toppers. I'll look at that one, see if they're selling it. And Joma Shop, and maybe a Japanese website. That's a legit one that sells Japanese stuff. And I'll buy one. Fuck it. I'm not going to be able to pay for it because it's not going to matter. I'm just going to buy it. Who cares about my credit score? Who gives a shit? Doesn't matter anymore. I'm not buying a house. Doesn't matter. All right. Next picture. Oh, update on my poll on the posts page on my YouTube channel. It's changed. It's now 18 votes. It's up 2 more votes since my last show. Originally posted 4 days ago. It's still up there if anybody wants to cast a vote or not. Which would the community audience prefer? Morty unalives himself is now 56%. There's been 2 more votes since the last posting, since the last time I talked about it. Morty has a stroke, still at 0%. Morty has a heart attack and dies, still at 0%. Morty simply disappears and is never heard from again. That's gone down to 44%. So there's 18 votes, and you can do the math. 9 and 9 would make it 50-50. So those 2 votes went right to Morty unalives himself. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Feel free to, if you haven't voted, feel free to go to my posts page and, vote if you would like. Fantastic. What's next here? Right. Okay. And 5 viewers. Thank you all for watching. Don't know why you would be watching but thank you. Thank you very much. Next picture. He's just a regular. Well, of course, this is absolutely true. You can tell how someone is not by their words, but by their actions. Man, is that true? And I've always felt that way about how to think of someone. Or I've always thought of people in that regard, And I understand I'm not perfect. I get it. But I always use that line of thought, And, hey, we have a guest backstage. So let's bring on a guest. And hello, Spring and Fialta.
Hey, Morty, how you doing?
I'm doing, how you doing?
Okay, that's the watch that I have. That's the Seiko Cocktail Time.
Let me look it up. Let me make it larger. 1 second.
Yeah, instead of the speckle dial, it has a ribbed, I guess, a ridged
Let's try it
dial.
again. Is that large enough to see? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've seen that. It's been around for some number of years on the Seiko lineup.
Yeah, it's one of the first watches I saw when I started watching the watch channels, on YouTube.
Right.
So it's been, it's at least 10 years or so.
I like that bracelet design better than the one I was the Presage I was showing before.
Yeah, I thought mine was like that, but mine's more, it's not quite as jingle jangly as the
Jinkly jangly, right. Is that a Presage? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's a Presage watch. Yeah. So
I think it's different now. I mean, I think a lot of this, like the Hamiltons and the Seikos, I think they did this thing where they try to go from 40 to 80 hour power reserve. I think mine's 40. I think.
Yeah, the Hamilton Tissot started that like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Yeah. How's the timekeeping accuracy on this watch?
This is the worst, but it's still, like you say, it's not bad. I mean, it's more like a minute, like every 2 or 3 days. So
that's no big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, but they always say that, I don't know what the movement is. I should know what the movement is, but I don't think it's their highest level.
Oh, no.
I think the Presage now means more. So if you get a Presage now, I think it's a higher level movement, and you're going to get good time as well as the beautiful styling.
Yeah, well, I mean, a minute every 2 or 3 days. When I'm sitting at my desk, if I notice it's 2-3 minutes off, I just adjust it. That's all. No big deal. So I don't need a chronometer, superlative chronometer certified. It's not that big a deal just to make an adjustment. It takes 2 seconds. So, and how often do you wear that watch, say, in a given month?
I haven't watched that in a while because I happened to have it on me when I was moving from one house to another, and I didn't want to scratch it, so I put it in a box with a bunch of stuff, and then I don't remember which box that is, so I gotta hunt around for it.
Oh, you gotta find it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
have you ever thought of putting it on a leather strap, or you're fine with just the bracelet?
That one's okay. I've got a black Tissot that's on black leather, and that's nice. I mean, it's all black, and it's really simple dial. I don't think it even has indices. It just has the hands. So it's a real minimalist. It's definitely like a dress watch. It's not really for, telling the time. It's just a statement.
Now, this watch that you have here, is that a watch, once you find it again, is that a watch that you would wear to meet colleagues for coffee or a drink, or to wear at the office, the workplace? Or
yeah, that would be like an office watch, definitely.
Yeah, very good.
So it's nice enough for the office, but it's a little dressed down for. I have my Grand Seiko. That's what I'll use for, more formal events.
Yeah, right. Good choice. So you have 2 Seikos. The Grand Seiko and this one. Yeah.
I think and I just got a Seiko diver as a 30-year anniversary gift from my company. So that's my second.
Oh, nice. Okay. You got 3. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I have more Citizens than I thought I would ever have, but I think it's partly because I used to have this once a year sale. It was mostly for wholesalers. So they had all these extra watches that they hadn't sold, and they would sell them at really reduced prices, like 50 and 60% off to wholesalers. But they allowed the general public to go there. So we would wait in line. And I got like 3 or 4 watches. I got my Alpina from there, and I got a Bulova, I believe, and also a Citizen. But they're all owned by Citizen ultimately.
Ah, right.
So,
yeah, you think Citizen and Seiko in Japan, I mean, in the headquarters offices of both, you think they have a deep spine network for industrial secrets going back and forth between the 2 companies?
I wouldn't doubt it, because I don't know if the Yakuza is still going, but I imagine they can get some of those guys on one side.
They'll just blackmail them with pictures of them picking up prostitutes in the sex district, and then they've got them, right?
So they can
or something.
have them sneak in. That's
Well, you
much-
mean I would imagine Toyota, Honda, Mazda, etc. They all have industrial espionage, So
Yeah, it's interesting. I was trying to. I was recommended a video by YouTube about how Japan went into that slump. They were doing so well in the '80s, and how come they crashed? And part of it was there was a thing called the Plaza Accord, where like what at the time was just the G5. It was America and France and Germany, or West Germany, I guess at the time, and Britain and Japan, and they met at the Plaza Hotel in New York. And the U.S. dollar was really strong, and because of that, it was very difficult for us to export our goods out, and so our trade imbalance was getting out of control. So the 5 countries agreed to do some things to basically weaken the dollar so that we'd have better exports and more expensive imports. And it affected Japan more than any other country. And then in order to correct for that, they basically did what we did for what they call the what was it called, the after the TARP, there was the when they lowered the interest rate to near zero.
I don't recall.
There was a name for that. Anyway, they did that, and that because that's when they started speculating and buying all the real estate they bought Pebble Beach golf course and everything else, and then it all crashed. So they're not as hardworking, saving, honest, hardworking people as some people say. They had their fling as well with the silliness. So anyway,
I found living in Japan, well, in particular, the salarymen or people with office jobs, they're very hardworking, but many of them are absolutely miserable with their life and their job and their boss and the requirements they have to keep that position and things they have to do and not do so they can, get advancement. And which includes after work, going out with the boss and the co-workers and getting drunk off your ass every night, or certainly on Friday nights, if not other nights as well.
yeah,
And they can't get home and hang out with their family or wife. They just have to stay in the office and socialize with the boss. And before you know it, they're 60 years old and they've had no life at all. It's
the 2 Americans I knew that had a similar lifestyle, they ended up working for a company that I worked for. But before that, they were in Hollywood, and they were basically part of the crew, props and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, that must have been fun, hanging out with all the stars and all that stuff, and getting all the overtime and everything. And they said, well, it's fun in the short run, but eventually, because they had to do the same thing in order to keep their jobs, because there's so many people that wanted those jobs.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
In order to keep those jobs, even if they're just really simple ones, just moving sets around and stuff, is they had to go out for the boss and kiss his ass for a couple hours while they'd get drunk. And when you're young, you can get away with that, but after a while, as you get older, it just wears on you. So
exactly. When you're 22, 25, no problem. But 10 years later, it's, hey, I'm tired.
Yeah, I mean, I guess these salarymen would find some time to pump out 1 or 2 kids, but the wives would be just alone at home, taking care of them. And
that's right. Yeah.
So
the wives would spend the money, take care of the kids, and in the daytime when the kids are at school, in many cases, the wives go to what's called a pachinko parlor. You have any idea what that is? I'll explain it if you don't.
Well, I know pachinko is this kind of interesting game where you shoot these balls to the top, and then
that's it.
It's like
they have these pachinko places, like an arcade. They're all over the Japanese towns and cities, and there's no buttons like a what's that game called with the flippers? There's nothing like a pinball machine to control it. You just put the coin in and you sit and watch the balls. Okay. Well, you can't control how they go. It's incredible. And then you can, when it's over, you don't win cash. They give you a gift, like, a stuffed bear or a teapot or steak knife set, cheap steak knife set.
Ginzu.
Again, yeah, they give you the Ginzu knife set, okay, because you can't play for cash. It's not allowed.
Oh,
And then
that's
what you do is, this is absolutely true. Then you take your Ginsu knife set that you won, and you go outside and you walk around to the back of the building. I bet you Marcelo doesn't even know this, and he's lived there 18 years, right? You walk around down the alleyway to the back of the building. And there's a guy there behind a door or a window thing, and you show him your receipt and that you won the Ginzu knife set, for example, and he'll give you cash there for it.
Ah. And they just
it's absolutely incredible. Yeah. So these women, I know them personally, or I knew them. That's what they would do all day long. And I said, "How do you win money? I mean, how do you win?" And they explained to me that they had this looked like a cell phone, but it was some kind of pachinko computer, mini computer, telephone size, and it evaluated and kept track of every machine in the place that they went to, all the winnings and how many games till the next win and all this. And they had this all strategized out, and they would do pretty well making, cash.
Well, that's like the people that, try to keep track of the liquor stores, which have the winning lottery tickets.
Yeah. I saw a story. I don't remember where it was. A group of people went and they calculated how many number possibilities are there with the 48 number choices on a lottery ticket, let's say, okay? 54, 48, whatever. And which was like how many thousands of choices. Then they bought that many tickets. They pooled their money and bought whatever number of tickets that is, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, whatever, 100,000. And they won some big money. So, yeah, amazing. I should have saved that story, but yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's similar with, I've heard similar things with, well, I mean, sort of like people that have the EBT cards, right? And then they give them to people for half so they can get money so they can use it for things they're not supposed to buy with the EBT card.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah. Well, I think the Trump administration with Robert Kennedy, I think they've more strictly narrowed down what the card can be used for at a supermarket. Like you have to buy food, not a bottle of beer, and not liquor, and stuff like that.
So that's only going to increase the black market, basically. So, yeah, it's like spy versus spy. You try to create some kind of rule or law, and there's people that find a loophole or they find a way to abuse it. So,
yeah. Hey, we got 2 viewers, so we're doing great. Very nice. Okay. And also the Japanese housewives, many of them are because the marriage is non-existent, really. The husband comes staggering home at midnight, and he gets up at 5 a.m. to go to work the next day, gets on the train, commutes for an hour or two, and he comes back home at 10 or midnight again. The only day he has off is Sunday, and because Saturday he has to go play golf with the boss, and he can't say no. He'll never get promoted, never. So Sundays is one day off, and he stays in bed all day long sleeping from all the alcohol drinking and the exhaustion. So the wife has no contact with the boss, no sex life at all. So Japanese housewives are available and willing on their own initiative for extramarital affairs because they have nothing. They have no relationship at all with the husband.
Yeah, people say that Japanese culture is so wonderful, and yet, it has its good sides and its bad sides. I mean, yeah, maybe the streets are clean, and, maybe they got good, healthy food, and maybe they have, interesting architecture that's beautiful and classic, and blah, blah, blah. But if you have these really bad marriages and you have other things that go on, you have this weird thing where they're not, there's no sexuality in public, but they like to read these really violent manga. With nasty stuff. I mean, it's just weird. But
there's lots of sex. There's these love hotels all over the cities, but it's not really discussed. You
But
know,
but there's not people. People aren't walking around with G-strings and stuff like they do here in America, are they?
that's correct. Yeah. Well, they are more presentable in public.
This just upsets me because it's like, so I'm seeing a guy running, he's jogging, and all he has is shorts and sneakers, right? That's all he has on.
Yeah.
Now, if he were walking down the street, if you're just walking like that, people would say, "Oh my God, put some clothes on." But because he's jogging, that's somehow okay. It's somehow okay
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
almost naked as long as you're pretending to exercise rather than you're just walking. I mean, it's just
Well, why can't he put a T-shirt on as well?
exactly. Why can't, oh, because I'm sweat too much, or why can't he have sweats on instead of, I mean, that's what they wear half the time. They have these $400 silk sweats that they wear, to, famous, expensive restaurants. Why can't they
Yeah.
wear
Right.
sweats when they're actually jogging? I mean,
Right.
it's just, I don't know.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
If I were the chief of police of a city like that and people were running around jogging like that, I'd give them citations.
Exactly.
It's there's a city code. You have to be reasonably dressed with a shirt and some kind of pants. And that means, in your case, shorts and a simple T-shirt.
Exactly.
And so I'm writing you a ticket.
Exactly.
So then he would say, "Well, I'm not running, I'm traveling." And I say, "Okay, then you get 2 tickets." Right.
Exactly.
Then you get 2 tickets. All right.
My movements are controlled by laws of the sea.
Right. Exactly. Admiralty law. Incredible. Yeah.
I can't believe people believe that. It's so
Admiralty law.
I was back in the 70s. I was probably late 70s, early 80s. I had a job in Corvallis, Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was reading. There was a book called Sweden, the Third Way in Trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about how everybody had been thinking that Sweden was with the third way. They're like halfway between socialism and capitalism. And there was all these, glorious reports of how wonderful Sweden was.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy said, wait a second, it's not so wonderful as you think. So I was reading this book, and there was one of these guys who believes that we don't really have to pay taxes because it was never, the constitutional amendment was never correctly passed and all that. There's a whole bunch of people like that, right? And he saw me reading this book, so he handed me this literature from something called the Golden Mean Society, and it was, I think, some kind of a LaRouchian type of thing.
LaRouche. Wow. Okay.
Offshoot, and it's basically, these are the things you have to do in order to, legally not pay your taxes because, this is what happened and all that. And one of the things they say is their arguments is you can't be forced to, the Fifth Amendment says you can't be forced to testify against yourself. Mm-hmm. And so they claim that the tax form is you testifying against yourself. You're basically telling the government, this is how much I owe you. And so you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have. So they, that's one of their arguments, which is kind of specious, right? But anyway, so I was interesting. I got to, I'm not a big fan I'm not a big believer in conspiracy theories, but I love, talking about conspiracy theories. I love to hear about them. Listen to Coast, and I thought, I'd like to think that there's a Loch Ness monster and there are Sasquatches and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of cool. But so I was reading all this material, and it's like I find out that this guy, he claimed that he was able, even though he was a full-time employee, he was able to get the company to not garnish his wages, or take out the W-2 part or whatever it is, the Social Security part, and that it's up to him to pay it. But I couldn't, my God, contractors have to, they don't have to, they just have to pay like every quarter or whatever. I don't know, if they're taxed on their, but so I was like, oh, this is crazy, This is Oregon, because in Oregon, it used to be not just all liberals. They used to be, people would escape up there to get out of California because they were conservative. People in the 70s and stuff were going there like they were going to Texas. They couldn't take California being so left wing, so they'd go up to Oregon. So for a while there, you had some, group of, like Idaho type,
Right. Well, at some point, like maybe in the 80s, well, definitely in the 80s, it changed. And the people moving from California to Oregon were the libtarded Democrat, dope smoking commies, Bernie
Yeah,
Sanders types, and destroyed the entire state, the western part of the state, destroyed it. Yeah.
yeah. I think it'd be, if people actually cared about we're supposed to be a representative government, and you didn't want to have more Democrat or more um, Republican senators, they would split Washington and Oregon such that there'd be one state east of the Cascades and one state west of the
Well,
Cascades.
that's being discussed between Idaho and 5 counties in eastern Oregon who want to join the state of Idaho, and of course the governor and politicians in Salem are aghast at that idea. But the people there want it; they want to become like part of the greater Idaho.
Well, that would be, who cares? Because that would mean that the Washington, the Oregon people should love it, because that means they got more solid Democrat majorities.
Oh, that would take out all conservative voters, and it's already a Democrat-controlled state because of all the dope heads living in the Portland, Eugene, Corvallis area, which control the state ballots, the voting results. But if they eliminated all the conservatives in Eastern Oregon, the entire state would just be 90% liberal wackos, and they'd love it. Yeah.
And then that would give a buffer to Idaho, because the Californians are moving up there, and they'd have a few more years to stay Republican. So it would be best for everybody.
Absolutely, it's a win-win. You're right. I agree. And I would definitely consider moving into the greater Idaho, the new state. If I don't know what life would be over there, but maybe pretty good. So.
I know Bend is nice. I've been through there. It's big enough that they have, it's not just a podunk little town. They actually have hospitals and things like that if you're getting older and you need that kind of stuff. But it's also because a lot of the boomers who moved up there, the prices have gone up, so it's kind of pricey now. But
yeah. But that's a liberal city, I believe.
I think
I don't know.
I think it's going to be like Orange County is now, where it's nominally Republican, but it's it's kind of getting towards Democrat.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'll get down there eventually. I haven't been to Bend or Eugene yet, so
Eugene,
there's nothing really to go down. It's a long trip. It's nothing really to go there for.
Well, Eugene is gorgeous country. I've been to Eugene. It's gorgeous country. I mean,
well, outside of the university, there's nothing really in the city to take a look at except just the scenery.
Yeah, the Asheville is nice if you like Shakespeare, because they have Shakespeare.
That's correct. Yeah, Ashland.
Okay, Ashland. Yeah. Right. And then I was at the Rogue River, and that was kind of cool down there.
Right.
I don't know how far north that goes. But they have rafting and stuff on that. So,
well, it's a beautiful country, but I'll get down there next year. I'll explore around. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, no, I'm having a pretty decent holiday. I was going to kind of spend it alone, just kind of catch up with some stuff I've been putting off. But a couple of friends are visiting from out of town, and so I've been doing some stuff with them. So that's worked out.
Right. Just put a picture up there. Yeah. So, what else? So you said a friend of your mom actually did that. She knew her time was up, and she just wanted to max out her credit card. Do you know what kind of things she did? Like go to Europe, or?
She was a cat fancier, so she actually was. She actually ran a magazine. She was an editor of a magazine, and I think they were having some financial issues, and so she needed to help with that. And she even though she was in her 70s, she would drive around in this bright orange, 70s Camaro. It was like that same color as that shirt there. It was awesome. I mean, because she was basically, and she had really great personality. She's very vibrant. And the fact that she passed away, long before my mom did, is kind of interesting, because she was just such a vibrant person. And I think she lived in a small apartment, so she's just paying rent. And because she was there forever, I don't think she had to pay that much. I think the the landlord, kept the rent from going up too high. But I think she just liked to, buy, go out to eat and get nice food and stuff, and that was probably more than she could afford,
Right.
based on her Social Security check.
Well, I mean, there's no way they're going to collect on the money. I mean, let's see. Let's say you're going to kick the bucket pretty soon, so you go out and spend a shitload of money on jewelry to give to one of your friends as a goodbye gift. Okay, and there's no one in your estate to pay the money. Well, then that's it. If you die with an estate, then you can get sued. The estate can be sued, by the credit card company or whatever. But if you got nothing, then sue away. You ain't gonna be here. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wasn't like she's leaving a house behind or something like that. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, right.
And nowadays, for the next, I don't know, 20, 50 years, no one's going to want anything. You think, oh, well, maybe somebody has a house, but maybe they got a HELOC or something and they owe money on the house,
Mhm.
right? It's underwater. Oh, they got all that furniture. They got beds. They got dressers. Well, nobody cares about that crap anymore. They want to buy new stuff. And, they got all this jewelry. Oh, it's worthless. Oh, they got all this wonderful
Right.
porcelain stuff from Germany. What's the name of that stuff? Oh, nobody buys that anymore.
Oh, I know what you mean. Hummel.
Yeah, like the
Hummel
Slaughterhouse 5.
figurine.
It figured in Slaughter. Did you ever see Slaughterhouse 5, the movie?
Oh, that's I probably did in the 70s.
There was a guy who just saw it and he remembered it from his childhood. He picked it up and the Germans said no stealing and shot him right there. He was just picking it up to look at it.
That was written by
Vonnegut.
Kurt Vonnegut. Yeah, right. I must have seen it, but that was probably in the 70s, that movie.
Oh, that was great. Was it Valerie Perrine was naked in the movie, so that was awesome.
Okay, yeah.
It was really strange because they spent half their time as prisoners of war in Germany, but then they were on like a planet on Titan or something like that in Saturn, and then he came back to his regular life after the war. So it was kind of a commentary on the horrors of war.
Yeah, 1972. Okay. I must have seen this. Let's see.
It was nice. It was beautifully filmed. It was kind of a crazy movie. It's sort of like Catch-22.
Yeah, Billy Pilgrim has mysteriously become unstuck in time. He goes on an uncomfortable trip back and forth from his birth in New York to life on a distant planet and back again to the horrors of the 1945 firebombing of Dresden. Stars Ron Liebman and Valerie Perrine, right? Okay. Perry King. This would have been around the same exact time as Fahrenheit 451.
Probably
and Catch-22.
Yeah.
I can't remember the movie, but
I read Catch-22 and saw the movie. I did not read the book.
Oh yeah.
Of Slaughterhouse 5, but I did see the movie. But it was, and I'm sure the purists say, "Oh, I didn't do it right," but I thought it was a decent movie regardless.
Right. Fahrenheit 451. What year was that?
One of my favorite actors.
That's right. 1966. Well, that was earlier. Okay. And Catch-22 was early 70s, I'm pretty sure. 1970. There. Which one? 1973 or 2? Let me see. There's 2 different ones here. Daniel. No, that's Richard Dreyfuss. He wasn't in it. 1970. That's it. 1970. What a cast that movie had. Alan Arkin, Martin Balsam, Richard Benjamin, Art Garfunkel, Buck Henry, Jack Guilford, Bob Newhart, Anthony Perkins.
Yeah, I remember him. He was in That's Kind of a Surprise.
Yeah, Martin Sheen, Paul Apprentice, John Voight, Orson Welles, and Norman Fell, Charles Grodin, and wow. I saw that in the movie theater. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I highly. I mean, I don't know if there was a book that I laughed harder at than Catch 22. There was a lot of
Mm.
gallows humor, but it was just so hilarious. The situations they would get in, so absurd.
Yeah, I could watch that movie again because it was so long ago, and I don't remember how, because I remember I read the book. I don't remember how close or faithful the movie was to the book, but maybe I'll do that again.
I
And
know.
Happy New Year, Guy Gadbois. Thanks for watching the channel.
Yeah, I think people who are purists had the same complaint with Catch 22 that people the Reacher movies had, but it was the opposite direction. Somehow
Yeah.
in the book, it was suggested that the main character was short, but Alan Arkin is tall.
Hmm.
So so everybody got all upset because he was the wrong height. It's like, come on, guys, give me a break.
Well, that's what Tom Cruise movies. That's when he plays characters and his historical characters. I mean, he just sees himself as that he believes he can portray these people.
Yeah, but
And
still, I mean, it's the stars, that's their own problem. But as far as the audience, if
Mhm.
the only reason you hate a movie is because the main character doesn't look like the person you read in the book,
Right.
if the story is basically the same, it's hilarious, there's great acting, there's great cinematography, and you're going to say, "Oh, I was reading this book and he's supposed to be short. I hate the movie." I mean, you're
Uh-huh.
an idiot. You're just an idiot. So, and it's,
I get it.
I
Yeah.
just, it's, I mean, whether, Tom Cruise has a big ego or not, we don't, obviously he's
Well,
got,
I mentioned that because, like, when he played in Valkyrie, and he played Colonel von Stauffenberg, who was like 6'4". I've seen photos of him, on different channels. And Tom Cruise is like what 5'7", and you see the picture of the real guy. It's just doesn't make sense. And when you see Tom Cruise playing Jack Reacher, the guy, on that movie that he did, and then you see that TV show about Jack Reacher, where the guy is really 6'3" and built like a really strong guy. That's a believable casting. But Tom Cruise and this 5'7" tough guy, it just doesn't make any sense. But so it doesn't work.
yeah, but to me, I guess I'm not so much, because there's all these girl bosses that, I don't care how strong she looks, I don't care how muscular she is, you know, kung fuing 3 or 4 apes, and
Correct.
and
Right.
that's so I've gotten used to that. So as far as whether they're tall or not, I don't
All
mind
right.
it. The thing
Yeah.
that gets me is when you have someone like Michael Keaton as Batman. That's what gets to me. When you have this guy who's kind of makes me want to laugh, and I'm supposed to think he's a serious crime fighter. It's more not about him being too short or too tall or this or that, but
Mm.
just not being, not having the
So you
grobby.
you find him so typed as a comedy actor that he's just not believable in a superhero dramatic part.
Yeah, and there was it. Bill Murray was in the Jagged Edge or whatever. It was not the Jagged Edge,
Oh, the
but
Razor's Edge.
the Razor's Edge.
Yeah, I didn't want to see that because that's ridiculous.
Oh, and he did the worst thing because, like in SNL, he had a character where he would give a kid a noogie and say, "Oh, you knucklehead."
Mm.
And he did it. It was nice. It was endearing for Bill Murray to do that in SNL and do this, "you knucklehead." So here he is. He's trying to play this serious character who's got PTSD from being in World War I, and he's coming home for the first time. And who does he meet? The first person he meets a little kid, and he does a little noogie and says, "You knucklehead." And then it's like, oh
Oh,
Jesus, you
it,
ruined it for me, because right at the very beginning,
oh.
now he's Bill Murray from SNL, and I can't see him as some,
Yeah, I mean, he does
war
quote,
hero.
quote dramatic movies, but I don't take him seriously at all as an actor. He's a comedy actor. Yeah, well, whatever. If he's gonna, what's that movie like? You're in the Stripe, or
Oh yeah,
Ghostbusters.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
fine. But
Ghostbusters.
I think
But
Tyrone Power was in The Razor's Edge,
the
and
two movies I saw him in where he was in Secret or when he was what do you call it, Secret, but where he was serious, was one called Bitter Flowers,
never heard of
and
that.
he went he had he was this guy who kept falling in love with women and then dumping them, and they all got upset about that.
Hmm.
And so like he was a writer or something, so they were attracted to him because he was interesting, but then he'd dump him for the next one. And he felt bad about himself, so he decided to go around to all the women and apologize to all of them, one
Mhm.
by one. And they didn't want to, they didn't want any other, they had gotten past him, right? And they didn't want him back there, right? There was one that kind of went along with it, try to pretend like she was like, "Oh, thank you for coming back into my life," and then she fucked him over real good. But all he did was he just had this sad puppy dog look on his face, and
Yeah,
just
that's his thing. That's his like Chuck Norris has his quote intense stare kind of look. And
yeah.
that's the extent of his acting range. And that's Bill Murray. That's the exact same thing for Bill Murray.
And that's what he did in that movie where he's in Japan, Lost in Translation.
Exactly.
I tried to like that movie because Scarlett Johansson's in it,
Yeah.
but he was just like he just had that long face, and that
No, it's
was it.
extremely limited. Now Schwarzenegger's extremely limited acting also, but he has other things that can make the movie more, I guess, enjoyably entertaining.
But
Because
I don't think he's ever done a serious movie.
no, he's not capable
Yeah,
of a
exactly. So
serious performance. No.
he's smart enough to know his limitations.
There you go. Yeah. So, I mean, he's well suited for Commando and whatever those movies are he does.
He was even
Kindergarten Cop, but
yeah, the ones where he's kind of supposed to be in a funny situation. I think he works out.
no,
Okay.
he's not going to be cast in 12 Angry Men or I Claudius, So
Like there's like Jingle All the Way was kind of funny.
I saw that. Yeah, it was fine. Yeah.
So he's just fighting over that one last.
But I would like to see. But I would pay $4.99 on Amazon to see Schwarzenegger and I Claudius. Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
He could be Sejanus. He could play the role that Patrick Stewart played.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. But yeah.
Or be Tiberius, maybe. I don't know. That would have been funny. Oh
yeah. So
there's Germanicus. He'll be Germanicus because he's a
well,
German.
I don't remember which actor played who, but
I think Germanicus was killed off stage. I think there was like two sons of that. There was Livia kept killing off people. Oh, and I did see YouTube has every single episode of I Claudius.
oh, you're kidding? That's
All
incredible. Okay.
full episodes. So yeah. So I'd mentioned it to you, and I thought, is that true or not? And then I went up there.
Well, that's great. I'll look for that.
And I started reading. I watched the first one, and it was, these are great actors.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna look for a TV show about. This is so well done. It's a BBC show, and yeah, I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and if you can copy it,
Okay.
or if anybody wants to see it, it's so well done and so really interesting. It's from 1965. It's a BBC show, and that's it. If anybody can copy it, and I'll put it in the private chat for you as well, because I think you can just copy and paste it in the private chat. Okay, and there was an attempt to make the movie I Claudius by Joseph von Sternberg, with a great cast, including Charles Lawton as Claudius and Merle Oberon. And the movie it fell apart. The whole production was just one problem after another. But all the outtakes and footage, a lot of it survived. So in 1965, they made the BBC put together a TV show calling it The Epic That Never Was.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and it's narrated by Dirk Bogarde, one of the great actors at that time, certainly very famous at that time. And it shows all the old footage and the story behind the making of it and how the production just disintegrated. They couldn't continue it. But the footage of Charles Lawton and the other actors is just dazzling.
There's a couple of movies. I saw the movie. It's called Lost in La Mancha, and it was about the guy who did Gillum, the guy who is in the comedian, the Monty Python.
Oh, Terry Gilliam.
Terry Gilliam, yeah, and he tried to do a version of Man of La Mancha, it never went anywhere. And then so they have a movie about them trying to make the movie, and it was pretty funny.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
there's the most famous one I think is what's called Jodorowsky's Dune. So there's this really artsy fartsy director from Europe who tried to make a version of Dune,
Mhm.
and it was just really weird. And the documentary is about how much, how all the money he spent trying to do these really interesting sets and all this other stuff. And it's one of those movies that people wish had happened, even if it wouldn't have been completely true to the book.
Right.
It would have been just this amazing, crazy, 70s type movie, right?
I never saw Dune because I didn't care for the director, and I just didn't see how it was going to. Was Sting in that movie, Dune?
Yeah, he was in the movie, and
Yeah, that's probably another reason why I never saw it.
So there was a lot of clips on YouTube, and if you watch the clips, they're pretty interesting. I mean, they've got some really tense, dramatic moments and some really interesting, very David Lynch type oddball stuff going on. There's this one thing where the Emperor meets one of what they call the navigators, and it's just an amazing scene. And so I was like, "Oh, this is great!" And then I found out that you could watch the whole thing, so I started watching the whole thing. And it's really long and drawn out. There's a lot of things which are just a lot slower than they should be. But it has a great cast, and it's a decent movie. But, I mean, even David Lynch disowned it because he wanted it even longer than it turned out to be. And they did some things that he didn't like. The way they did the exposition was all voiceovers. And people just thought that was kind of odd. And I thought it was kind of interesting the way it worked out, but it was kind of creepy in a way too. So who knows?
Well, I can't urge you enough to watch that.
Okay.
The thing I just sent you, the epic that never was. It's only about an hour or a little bit longer.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah,
It is so interesting. You'll really get into it. Yeah. But yeah. Whatever. So
do you have any resolutions for next year?
I'm just going to spend everything on the credit card. Just max it out and enjoy the travel and the new watch. And that's it. That's about it.
I don't want to dox you, and I don't know for sure, but I got the impression that you were, a business guy in at least at some point in the Hollywood business. I would have thought you would have done well for yourself, but
well, no comment.
Right. It didn't all go up your nose, did it?
No. I've never used those drugs. No, just angel dust at one point.
And then you just went to all those Chinese women. You were
exactly right. Yeah. No, it's life is what it is. And not everybody can retire to the golf course.
No Toluca Lake for you.
Yeah, Toluca Lake. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm gonna be doing okay, but I don't know, my health. I'm getting better in my health because I eat a lot of the stuff that you don't eat anymore that you remember from your earlier childhood.
Oh yeah,
But I still eat that stuff sometimes. But I'm trying to get like just 2 meals a day, and one of them is like either a salad with a little bit of steak in it or a salad with a chicken in it. So I have some protein, and then my breakfast is like 1 egg and a piece of toast or something. So
yeah, I eat eggs for breakfast often enough. Okay, but if you want to, anyone watching the show, I heard this on some other channel, some nutritionist or conspiracy theorist or something. I don't remember what the channel was, and she was talking about. Oh, actually, it was somebody I was talking to on the phone who was a nurse. Yeah, and she said, just Google. And I'm not making this up. Just Google cancer, chicken and penis cancer. I'm serious. Just Google chicken and penis cancer, and you won't believe the literature, the information that comes up on that. You won't believe it.
Well, they put so much. That's a funny thing. So I for some reason I had Dr. Berg as one of my subscriptions, right? And Dr. Berg is this guy who's got an answer for everything, right?
Okay.
And so I get every once in a while I get some other whack job telling me what I should eat or not eat. And this
Hmm.
one guy's telling me that they did a study and people are not having enough salt in their diet. They need to triple the amount of salt they're having
Oh,
in.
that's a new one. That's interesting. Right.
So I thought, I know I've heard fat was bad. Now fat is good. Carbos are okay. Now carbos are bad. I
Right.
never thought, and the coffee goes back and forth every other year, right?
That's right.
And alcohol was bad, then it was good. Now I think it's bad again. But I never thought that they would say salt is bad. Now it's good. I never thought that would ever happen.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
But and it's, I don't know. I think it's a combination of do some exercise, which is just like walking around the area,
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
and light meals, and that's all you need. I can actually start. I used to have a hard time bending down to tie my shoes sometimes if I was sitting in too high a chair. Now I can do that, so I must be losing a little bit of weight. So that's
Well,
good.
it's yogurt too. Dan and Yogurt had that commercial in the 60s or 70s of these people who were living. The average age in the village was 110, and they're all
Oh,
out there working on the farm and walking the mules to the farm and the village, and they're all happy as hell and in decent health, and they all eat yogurt 2 times a day or something like that. And
well, the worst thing is Dannon yogurt, because if you eat the like authentic yogurt, which has a kind of slightly odd flavor to it,
yeah,
it's just pure yogurt. That's healthy. But if you put all the sugar and stuff in it, the
oh
Dannon,
yeah, right,
and
yeah,
all of a sudden you've made it.
that's
You're
right,
getting
yeah.
diabetes. So.
It's an ice cream alternative at that point. Yeah.
But
But
don't put all that stuff
so
in
yeah,
it.
so but that was the Dan and Yoga commercial for a long time, which was very effective, and
Yeah, I
that was
remember.
like people in Russia, some remote Russian village or Kazakhstan or someplace like that.
There was
Great
a.
old commercial. Yeah.
I remember maybe it was Ralph Story or someone like that did a story on some old Armenian guy, and he would make his own yogurt.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I knew Armenians and Koreans who would make their own yogurt.
And they had a little 10-minute public interest TV plug about this guy, and he's just tottering around. He'd make his yogurt, and
Yeah.
he was the happiest guy on earth eating his crappy yogurt.
Yeah, I never wanted to eat. They offered a Korean girlfriend of mine. She made her own yogurt, and I said, "Why are you doing that?" And I would never eat it. I said, "I don't want it." And she was a marathon runner, absolutely fit as anything, And yeah, I don't want to eat that. I'm sorry. I'll buy it from the supermarket. I'm afraid to eat it. So what are you afraid of? Us? Well, I don't know what it is. Why can't you just buy it? It's like you're fooling around with those ingredients. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, the yeast and everything. You don't know if it's properly, if it's.
I don't know what's in there.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Yeah.
But I've always wondered, if like I take probiotics, okay, a tablet or a capsule, and let's say the yogurt says it contains 10 billion, probiotic organisms. Well, why not just take the capsule? A high quality probiotic capsule from a major brand, from a proper brand, and then you're covered on the probiotics. Why does it have to be yogurt per se? So, but I don't know.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Because if that's the benefit you're getting from eating the yogurt, which is the probiotic effect, well, then just take a probiotic supplement. But maybe there's more to it. I don't know.
So, a friend of mine, he lost his job and he was trying to make ends meet. So he ended up getting stuck in this multi-level marketing thing where they were selling vitamins.
Yeah.
And their claim to fame was that their vitamins had this, I think it was sodium picolinate or something picolinate. And I don't know, and it was, their claim was that allowed that the vitamins would be absorbed more fully into the body and they wouldn't just go through your system.
Mm-hmm.
And so the understanding is that if you get your vitamins or your probiotics naturally, then they're going to be absorbed in the body better than just get this.
Well, there is a lot to that. Okay. Yeah.
And the other thing is like, so, and this is a claim, it's like folic acid is like a substitute for vitamin B or whatever. And this one guy was claiming that a lot of people can't absorb folic acid, so they don't really get the benefit of the vitamin B. So you have this like white bread where they strip out all the nutrition,
That's right.
and then they throw it back in using these artificial vitamins.
Right.
And then the claim is that it just goes right through you, or it doesn't get fully, taken up. So you're not really getting the benefit. So
Well,
that's kind of the argument.
food-based vitamins compared to bottled supplements. There's a lot to that. I agree.
So,
I don't know scientifically what the differences would be. I'd have to,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things like, for example, cooking oils. Okay, so the seed oils is a big whammy, right? So I started looking that up. All these Dr. Berg and all these other guys love to say that seed oils are your number one enemy and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what. And seed oil. I thought for years that was a good thing, but now it's not.
But then you ask Google, and they're supposedly giving you the better advice, not just these extreme guys who are trying to make a buck off YouTube. And they say, yeah, well, seed oils aren't the best, but they aren't used in moderation. They're not. They have their benefits. But then you hear this other thing, which is, like, for example, the only seed oil I use is 100% corn oil, and I only use it for making popcorn, because everything else I've used, smokes up. Like if I try to use olive oil or something like that.
Do you buy an organic corn oil?
Well, I get Wesson, right? Get the.
Oh my God, that must be the most bioengineered.
But it's 100% corn. It's not.
But it's the industrial grade mutated corn.
Well, that's the other thing too, is that they say it doesn't smoke, but the problem is that it changes when it heats up. So it might actually be healthy. If I were to just drink it straight out of a cup, it might be okay. But if I cook with it, even though it doesn't smoke, it changes, and the stuff that it changes to is the unhealthy stuff.
I forgot what it's called. Something blah blah mides, and
exactly.
Which is a what do you call it? A carcinogen product.
And they say that if you use pure, I always use high quality olive oil. It costs an arm and a leg, but I use the best olive oil. They say it will smoke, but when it heats up, it doesn't turn into those nasty chemicals. So if you can, if you have a good fume hood above your stove, just use that, and then deal with the smoke, right? So anyway, I don't know. So, but if I have like popcorn once a week, and the only time I try not to get processed food. That's the problem, is processed food is going to have canola oil and all that crap in it, right? So you're going to get it indirectly.
Yeah, there's a thing. Now, I'm not a food scientist, so I can't truly talk about it, but there's a thing called acrylamide.
That's it.
Acrylamide forms in burnt areas of food, particularly starchy foods like potatoes, when cooked with high heat above 248 Fahrenheit. Despite health scares following this discovery in 2002 and its classification as a probable carcinogen, there's ongoing debate whether acrylamide consumed through diet is likely to cause cancer in humans. But there's something about that people now.
There's certain
when
things
you use the high heat on those foods, that substance or something just like it happens. Like potato chips, French fries, when you're cooking it at a very high heat in oil.
Yeah, but like I'm going to have breakfast potatoes, and they're not going to be the rubbery ones,
right,
that people make that aren't really, they're going to be crispy, and I'm going to have a hamburger. I want it to be burnt on the outside. I don't want it to be, just this boring bland thing that you get at McDonald's, right? So I'm going to take the risk. Those are the things I'm going to risk. If I don't have that many hamburgers, I mean, try to, like you're saying, that what do they say? What do you see? You see these two old guys. These two old Jewish guys, right? And they're trying to stay alive to 100 so they can go to their grandchild's wedding, right? And what are they having? They're having chicken soup, they took the skin off and it's boiled, and they're boiling their potatoes. And now you're telling me that these guys who are having boiled chicken are trying to do the best they can for their health so they can stay alive, they're going to have something wrong with their penis.
Well, all I can tell, listen, just look up chicken penis cancer, and the connection between the two is just astounding. And it's on real websites, not
Crazy. I mean,
websites.
but this is the thing. These guys trying to be healthy as they can.
Well, so go with the hamburger and the fries and all that, but have yogurt once a day, the proper kind of yogurt, and take care of your probiotics in your colon, and you'll be great shape. I mean, really, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think I'm old enough that if I pass away tomorrow, I think I've lived I mean, I haven't lived the best possible life, but I lived an okay life. So as long as it's not
you developed a good enough pasta sauce where now you're happy. So you've done.
Well, I did. This one I did differently, and I'm really glad I did it this way. So it's really healthy. So I had some shredded carrots that I was using to make my salads, but I have a bunch of extra ones. So I just chopped them really small, fine, and threw them in the sauce. And then I also chopped up some spinach leaves and threw them in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And I got some ground beef, low-fat ground beef, and threw that in. And I got this amazing, sauce, and it's healthy, right? I got
sure.
I got spinach and carrots. Carrots are good for my eyes, and spinach is going to make me stronger muscles and stuff, right? Popeye is not a lie, right? Don't tell me Popeye is a lie.
Well, no, that's all good stuff. Yeah.
So that was. I got to find a way to make broccoli taste. Okay.
You're not a broccoli guy. All right.
Not a broccoli guy, no.
Try making a cream of broccoli soup.
Well, that's even worse.
Oh, really? Oh, it's great.
The only thing
I'm a big broccoli guy, so.
The only thing I like with broccoli, there's this one guy cooked beef broccoli, the Chinese dish.
Uh-huh.
And he wasn't even a Chinese guy, but the way he cooked it was really tasty. So that
beef broccoli is terrific, yeah.
But it's got to have lots of that brown sauce, right, covering all the
right.
broccoli.
You got to have the right sauce and all that.
Yeah, exactly. So that covers all that sulfur, the evil satanic sulfur flavor of broccoli. Because that's what they say, that the healthy part of broccoli is the sulfides.
Yeah, it's called. Well, again, I'm not the scientist. There's a component of it called sulforaphane, which is extremely healthful benefit of broccoli.
See,
I don't remember about it, but
that's what the devil is trying to convince us of. He's trying to convince us of that. That's it. Hellfire and brimstone. That's what's in broccoli.
Well,
nasty stuff. I like what's his name? Who's the postman from Seinfeld?
Newman.
It's like he goes to the chicken place.
Oh, right, for the broccoli. Right.
Vile weed.
You don't eat broccoli. I love broccoli.
He became my favorite character when he said that, because I agree with you.
Right. Honey mustard, please, now.
Yeah, exactly.
Incredible.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That's the thing I liked about that show, is that there's all these little new. It's a big thing in the show, but it's kind of a nuance to know that that's going to be funny and that's going to work.
Right.
Anyway, well, I need to hit the hay pretty soon, but it was nice chatting with you again, as always.
Right. Thanks very much for joining, and have a great holiday tomorrow.
And you too.
Yeah, and great.
Get that watch if you're gonna.
Yeah, just fuck it. Just put on the Amex card and buy it, and fuck it. Just what the hell.
Exactly. Get some more cards. Get like 3 or 4 or 5 cards.
Yeah, just get more. Well, I knew I had a friend who did this. This is in the 90s. He lived in Oregon at the time, and I was still in Los Angeles. And he built up his credit from total nothing, bad divorce and just total zero credit,
Okay.
And so he went through his credit cards, and he had $250,000 available credit. Okay, with all these cards. Okay. So he explained to me that he could just live on these cards and screw it, use one card, balance transfer the other, and just keep it going and never pay anything, and or pay just the most minimum and travel the world and buy whatever I want, and by that time it's all over. So who cares? But He didn't do that though, but
Oh well, end up in Thailand or something.
yeah, exactly right.
Where there's oh yeah, Ecuador. That's the way, right? There's no extradition treaty with Ecuador.
Oh, really? Ecuador? Yeah.
That's where Assange wanted to go to, right? He was in the Ecuador embassy of Britain because he wanted to try to get to Ecuador so that he wouldn't have to get quote unquote interviewed by the CIA. Okay, well, I'll you were going to say.
No, it doesn't matter. There's nothing. So.
I'll chat with you later then.
All right. See you later. Right.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you. All right. Let's and we got the 8 people watching. How about that? Thanks everyone for tuning into the show. Let's do a screen share here. See if I can do this properly. Probably not. And no, let me try it again. Yeah. All right, we're back. Gigadwa. You having a dram, Morty? No, I'm all drugged up tonight, so no alcohol. Yeah, all right. So let's see. The invite link is up if anybody would like to hop on the panel, talk about anything. How about you, Gigadwa? You having a drink or a smoke tonight? Or wherever you are, I don't know. Yeah, man. Isn't it nice just to listen to a show and not be subjected to screaming, yelling, racism, hatred of all different kinds of ethnicities, and backgrounds, and cultural heritages, and name calling, backstabbing, screaming, genital content, anal content, bass blasting, lies, lies, lies. I think it's hella nice. Great. Very nice. Good to hear that. Ah, boy. Well, what time is it? 11:40? What time is it? 11:40. And let me look at my schedule here. I mean, yeah, the other channels they're just unwatchable. 1 or 2 minutes is all I'll do. I'll say, okay, getting out. That's enough. What was I wanted to look this up here. What time is that? Yeah, we'll wrap it up in about a half hour. All right. Any topic suggestions? Any New Year's talk? Anything talk? Oh, I took off my pictures. There it is. There we go. Yeah, and here, here's the philosophical statement for tonight. Quote, there's more to getting your laundry folded than just getting your laundry folded. As spoken by Jax on the Morty's Diner channel, December 21st, 2025. If you know Jax, then you might know what he was referring to. And, yep, a lot in that statement. There's a lot behind that. There's a lot behind those words. I didn't push them for details because I got the concept. So, Gigadwa, I got a new flashlight from Amazon. Flashlight talk. Well, now you're talking. Tell us what kind of flashlight did you get? What's the model and the specs? A Wu Ben G5. Check it out. A Wu Ben G5. I never heard of that brand, and I did a hell of a lot of research on flashlights. Here it is, the Wu Ben G5. Rechargeable EDC flashlight, 400 lumens, dual light source bundle. You can also get a tactical flashlight, 1200 high lumens, rechargeable, $45.73. Interesting choice. And this particular model on Amazon has no customer reviews. That's interesting. And you bought it anyway. Small and powerful flashlight for daily use. Multiple lighting modes. Maximum lumen of 400 and 82 meter distance. You get a cold white light with 3 adjustable modes: low, medium, high. Okay, and the auxiliary light is RGB light with 7 colors: red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple. Wow. Okay. 180-degree rotatable lamp head and clip. The super bright 5 modes, developed with the P9 LED from Germany, emits bright light up to 1200 lumens, reaching 588 feet. Capable of USB-C charging cable with a 2600 milliamp battery. Ah, okay. Yeah. Interesting choice. Very interesting choice. Well, Happy New Year with the new flashlight. Interesting looking gadget. Yeah. How about that? There you go. Yeah, it's inexpensive, that's for sure. Okay. That might not have been their store because they sell out all the time, and I got mine for $20. Oh man, what a deal! Yeah, Chinesium, correct? All right. Jitter. Okay, well you know what you bought for $20, so very good. Yeah. I bought a light a few days ago. I bought a weapon light. Finally, I just broke down and said I can't keep searching and thinking about it. Just buy one. So I bought an O-light. And I'll tell Ozzy Expat next time he stops by the channel. And I know there are ones that are superior, but it's more than plenty. I think it's very good, and I didn't see any reason to pay an extra $100, $200, $300, $400 for a different brand. This will be totally good. So I'm excited. I finally ended years of searching and just said, buy it. So, very good. And I have a couple Olight flashlights, and man, they're really good. I know they're Chinese and all that, but they're really good, you know? Olight. And they gave a very good, well, I guess it was because it's Christmas week. It was a very good price. Plus, I was a previous customer, so I didn't know it, but I had reward points. And so they took off even more money. So really, really good purchase. Very pleased with it. And that'll arrive maybe Monday. So I got my new ammo boxes. So I'm going to go through all the ammo tomorrow and really get it organized. Because I store some in ammo boxes and some in just range bags. But I want to put it all in, nice ammo cans. Plastic ammo cans. And get them all nicely laid out. And yeah, it'll be very nice. Nice and organized. Yeah, the Olight. I'll try again if I can share. I'm not on Chrome, so I can't share other websites, but I'll try it again right now. Here it is. And the price was cheaper on the Olight website than Amazon because they offered all kinds of a Christmas sale, and I had reward points, so that's where I bought it. All products. I can't find it. Too complicated. Ah, no, that's not it. Ah. Can't find it. Never mind. I think the cheapest I'd go on a gun light is Streamlight. Yeah, well, I've looked at Streamlight again for years as well, and the one I wanted to buy, which I would have bought, but I waited too long and then it was discontinued, was called the TLR 7A. Okay, and reasonable price, TLR 7A. And then a year or two ago, they changed that whole lineup, and now the TLR 7 series is only rechargeable. And they had previously, you could use a battery. I forgot what kind of battery, like a lithium battery or some kind of battery. Because if there's no electricity and you want to recharge, then you're screwed. And you can just pop in a battery. But they didn't make that model anymore, so I held off on the Streamlight. But I think the Olight's going to be very, very good. But I could have bought the TLR7, whatever the current configuration or design of it is. It would have been fine as well. But the Olight looks really good. And I do have the flashlights from them, and they're really excellent. So I think it's a good purchase. Look at Holosun. Everyone clowned them when they first came out. Now they're pretty much the industry standard. Yeah, I talked about that with Ozzy Expat, and I did look up the Holosun websites for what's compatible for my items, my pieces, and there is a match, so I could buy it, but I don't see the need for getting a red dot. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, weapon light, yes, but you know. Maybe in certain circumstances, yeah, it's a great idea. But I mean, if someone's breaking in the front door, and I got a weapon light, let's say it's nighttime, and or daytime, why do I need the red dot? Just aim the shotgun at when he opens up the door, just blow him away. So what's the red dot going to do for me? So I don't know. But maybe it's fun. Maybe it's more fun, like getting a suppressor. I don't use a suppressor. Now you can buy them, Well, in Oregon, they're legal. They were legal. But I don't know. There's no end of stuff you can keep buying and accessorizing, But some things are essential. Some a suppressor, I don't know. Red dot, I don't know. So this one is a light. It has a green laser in it as well, and which I didn't really need, but I liked it. Had a higher lumen count, so I bought this one, and it was a very good price because of the sales and discounts and reward points. Isn't this exciting stuff? Can't believe I can't find. Let me see if I can find that again. Maybe it's this one here. Yeah, I think I'm getting close. I mean, to finding it, not whatever else you're thinking. Yeah, okay, which one did I buy? I bought the, this is a different page. Unbelievable. It says sold out, the one I bought. Incredible. Is that the one I got? No, it's not that one. It was the one below that. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter. Here it is. This is the one I got. And if anybody's into these things, I got this one. Here it is. You could look for it and get all the details. Why isn't it posting? There it is. I got that one. Nobody cares. Okay. What else? I feel like a snack. I mean, I feel like I could go for a snack. Let's check the phone, see if I got any email, hate messages, or PayPals and stuff like that. Nope, nothing important. Yeah, hate mail, baby. No hate mail tonight. Very nice. The link is up if anybody wants to join the show. I mean, that's on top of the chat list, chat column. Well, I think this is a good time for a break. I'm going to go in the kitchen and scour around, see what I can find. And I'll be back in a little bit. In the meanwhile, everybody can take a break or just whatever. Yay, we're back. All right, Morty's Diner. Ending the year on a bang. The excitement is out of control. Let's change that picture. Yeah, we'll go with this one. You know, when I was looking at this picture recently, I noticed that he has the prisoner number on his pocket area there, 62112. I wonder the creative team, when they made this, if that refers to anything. I don't know. Maybe there's something there to think about. I don't know, since I haven't thought about it yet. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't want to mislead anybody. There's nothing going on. Just hanging out. Maybe we'll get a new panelist. Maybe someone will come up with some topic ideas, or just whatever. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm going to look around for this watch, see what stores sell it, see if anyone offers it at a discount. And I'll just put it on the credit card. Screw it. At this point, it doesn't matter. Just buy it. When the bill comes with the Visa or Amex card, who cares? I bought some new pillows. My neck has been killing me because I've been using these Costco pillows. So I use the same thinking. Screw it. Who gives a shit? Just charge it up and who cares? So I bought a couple new pillows, genuine down pillows at Macy's. Pretty expensive, but the Christmas sale price was good. So I bought two of them. One soft, one medium. It also came firm. So I bought the soft and the medium, and they'll get delivered in a day or two or three. And I'll pick one. I'll try them both, see which one I like, and I'll keep both, or I'll keep one, or I'll return both. So easy, no problem. But so I took some good action. I bought the weapon light. I bought the pillows. I bought the ammo cans. Now I'm going to buy this watch. Just going to charge everything up. Yeah, I mean, you got to have a good pillow. You know, not a $2,500 pillow like Tommy bought, but you have to have a quality pillow. I mean, it's just awful to wake up with back or neck pain from the bad pillow. I used to like the pillow I have, but it's not good anymore. It's worn out. So. And if these pillows aren't good, I found another store that if I return these, then I found another store I'll buy from and buy from there. Daniel Quack. Let's do a quick look on this watch, see where it's sold. Seiko SPB525. Let's check some watch store prices. It's $940 on the Seiko website. This place, $950. Well, I ain't doing that. Okay, let's see, where else? Okay, here's another jewelry store. What are they? $950 out of stock. Okay. Right Time. I've seen that website. They're from Denver. $950. Okay, that's it. $950. There's no Seiko dealer in where I live. Well, yeah, whatever. And it's available. There it is. Just click here and buy it. $950. Okay. Okay, here's a dealer in Maryland. I've heard of this place. In stock and ready to ship. All right, so all these retailers are $950. So that's what it costs, $950. Though I think the Seiko website was $940. Revolution magazine has a story on this watch. Yeah, that guy who runs that magazine, what a weirdo he is. I mean, weirdo, what a strange guy. I'll save that story and read that later. All right, there we go. Got it. And it's 12:08 a.m. Amazing. This watch is $950 US. The SPB525. Yeah, 950, not 940. Yeah. So the Seiko website's the same price as those jewelry stores watch those I just looked up, but I'll do a little more searching and then, hey, just put it on the credit card. Who gives a shit? Link for Bateman. Anybody can come on the show. I mean, the link is up there. The invite link. I'll be here for another 15 minutes. Hey, NATO. Yeah. Van Lux, hello there. Yeah, look, $950 for a really nice watch a watch that I'd really enjoy, really like. It's a good deal. It's under 1,000, 3-year factory warranty. And it's a Seiko. Nothing's going to go wrong with it. I'd rather have this watch than a fucking Hulk. Ugly fucking watch. Hulk. Shit. Stupid green looking piece of shit. Looks so stupid. Man. Or a Daytona. You see, you look at this watch, you can see what time it is. Bam, there's the time. You look at a Daytona and you go, what the fuck time is it? When I was in Japan, I bought a Seiko, $100 quartz watch at a just general, like a Best Buy, Walmart kind of store. I don't remember what it was. And the sales girl was very cute. So I asked her, I said, I like this one. Does this watch have lume? So I put it on and I saw the lume. I mean, I could see it was lumed. And I said, that looks great. I'll take it. It was just a field watch design, but terrific. I wore that for about 5 years. Then it started to fog up on the inside. There was some water damage. And I brought it to a watch dealer in L.A., actually Feldmore watches, and I asked the guy, can this be fixed? The watch only cost $100, and he said it's just not worth fixing it. You can buy something new, compared to what you're gonna have to pay. So I have the watch, but I've never worn it. I haven't worn it in 20 years. About. Well, let's see. About 20 years. This is better than a clone watch from China, isn't it? Well, to me it is. It's certainly better. But, everyone has different tastes. I myself do not want a clone watch. Any clone watch. I just want the actual watch. This is not a clone watch. This is the actual watch. If that Chinese company that 80 Never Calling stops at, if they made a clone of this watch for $195, I certainly would not buy it. Because I don't want a Chinese shitter. I want the real thing. We have a guest backstage, and doesn't this guy know he's on the penance list? Oh, sorry, you're not coming on. You're on the penance list. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the interest. And Happy New Year. But no, you gotta do penance, man. I'm serious about that. Hello, Bateman. Morty, might I suggest as an arguably better choice, a Citizen. All right, let me look that up. All right, Citizen. See, these people hate my fucking guts. They curse me out and call me names and insult after insult after insult. Then they pop up backstage to want to be on the show. What's with these people? Who are these fucking people? I mean, who acts like that? Citizen NB 1050 dash 59L. This is too complicated. Let me do it again. What is it? 1050-59L. All right, let's take a look. And, okay, here it is. Oh, look at that. Interesting. Let's take a look here. 57,750, and that's about $550, give or take. Okay, I see that watch. Very interesting. I like the Seiko better. This blue dial does absolutely nothing for me. I mean, it looks fine. It does absolutely nothing for me, and it's the standard, bright blue. Maybe it's a sunray dial or not, but no, it looks good. But no, thank you for the suggestion. Um, it's on. Yeah, no, no, thank you. It does have a little bit of loom, but yeah, it's all right. Yeah, good watch for sure, but no, I like the Seiko one better. Thank you for the suggestion. Pretty good. All right, yeah, that guy left from backstage. Okay, very good. Let's see. Maneljock, how you doing, man? All right. NATO. Seiko are known for their hands, cases, and dials. That's basically a while watch. What does that mean? Replace bracelets and you're home and hosed. I don't think I know what you mean. Let me try that back. Oh, okay, I got it. Seikos are known for their hands, cases, and dials. That's basically a whole watch. Hands, cases, and dials. Replace bracelets and you're home and hosed. You're saying replace the bracelet? Bracelet? The bracelet looks okay. I prefer a different design. That's the bracelet. I've never worn a watch with that kind of bracelet, but maybe it would look great. But yeah. Yeah, some good information there. Seiko have horrible bracelets. Fact. Really? Well, I had I had the $100 Seiko, and I thought the bracelet was terrific, but I didn't know anything about watches at that time. Abatement. The renders do it no justice, but in person, this is grand Seiko level detail. Oh man, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. I'm definitely going to put the watch on my credit card, and fuck paying it off. Just who cares? Just charging everything up, and yeah, the class. Well, all I have to go in is that $100 Seiko I bought in Japan, and I liked it. The class worked great, but I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I prefer leather strap, so I would rather maybe in the future put a nice black leather strap on it. It would look very, very sharp. But I also like a stainless steel bracelet as well. Have you checked eBay? Someone might have one for cheap. No, you see, no, I don't do that. I don't want. I only buy from real sellers. I mean, established stores, established websites. It's not worth saving $100 to buy from somebody on eBay because you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you're getting. So I don't want to do that. But you would be correct, yeah. Now, if Joma Shop, I haven't looked at Joma Shop. If they have this watch, I would buy from there because I've shopped there before and everything's turned out. Every sale was legit. Yeah, of course it's a Japanese watch. Made in Japan. Just check their feedback. Oh, I understand that, but you can buy fake feedback. Like you can buy fake YouTube views, fake YouTube subscribers, fake YouTube comments. Restaurants and businesses can buy fake reviews, So you don't know who you're buying from on eBay. But it probably would be legitimately okay. Like with Chrono 24, it would be fine. But I've bought 3 things on Joma Shop, and each was exactly as it was supposed to be. So it worked out well. They take the plastic off of the watch when you buy on the Joma Shop. You don't get it in the brand new in the box with all the little plastic on it that you have to peel off. But you're saving 30-40% in many cases. So who cares? But I'll check Joma Shop for this and see if they have it. Gildan. Morty doesn't want to end up with another Souvla Seiko. I don't know what that means. and eBay authenticates. Now, yeah, I'd rather buy from a real place, not some eBay person. That's part of the purchase enjoyment, or the enjoyment of owning the product. I'd rather buy it from the real store, or Joma shop. Not not some eBay person. That's just my thing. Link for T Dubs so he can tell you all about it. Very funny. Okay. This watch came out in October, so it's in their permanent lineup, according to the website. But it's a new watch. Mr. GMT gave a Seiko to T Dubs, which was named the Souvla Seiko. T Dubs, being the nasty bogan, hated the Souvla Seiko. Why is it called that? Let me see if that shows up. Well, souvla is a Greek food thing. So let me go back. GMT, the Greek guy, he gave a Seiko. So he didn't like it. He called it the Souvla Seiko. Okay, got it. Yes, Gigadwa. I just got a pair of ASICs. They were sent off to be authenticated and arrived with a swing tag and certificate of approval. Mm-hmm. The real person you buy from almost certainly got it from eBay. Well, not if it's a store, an actual store, or the Seiko website, or if I fly to Tokyo and go to a Seiko boutique. Which, maybe this is the time to do it. Just throw it on the credit card and screw it. I'm not going to pay it off. I won't be around to pay it off. Who knows, So just do it, man. Incredibly ungrateful. So GMT gifted T Dubs with a Seiko, and you say here T Dubs, being the nasty bogan, hated the watch. How could he hate it? Unbelievable. Nasty. Ungrateful. Yeah, there it is. NATO, they said there's authenticators that know what the glue should smell like. Well, if you buy it at a Seiko boutique, a Seiko store, or an authorized dealer, you don't need to smell it. You don't need to smell the glue to see if it's authentic, because it is authentic because of where you're buying it. A Seiko covered in tzatziki sauce. Tzatziki. I said that wrong. Tzatziki sauce, right? Yeah, I've seen videos of them giving the sneakers the sniff test. Who the hell would sniff sneakers? Barry in Okie. Happy New Year, Morty. Ignore Batty Man. He is 12 Guinnesses and... Oh, okay. Thank you, Barry, for that info. And Happy New Year to everyone. Bateman's a big-time player. He gets $200 a show for a 2-week contract, $1,400, $2,800. He's making thousands on the YouTube. So he's a in-demand YouTube host, panelist. Amazing. Or maybe that's Marcelo. Yeah, that's the ultimate ignominy. Marcelo, $200 a day. $1,400 a week, $2,800 in 2 weeks, $4,800 a month. And let me show you that picture. For those who are not recently up to date with the Watch Nicholas channel, this is what the Watch Nicholas channel has become. You got Marcelo being paid $200 a show for 2 weeks. Here he is with the bird on his head. And he's interviewing or co-hosting with such YouTube giants as Ross Rachel Brady. Can you imagine that conversation? I didn't watch the show. I just looked at it and took a screenshot and vamoosed the hell out of there. But can you imagine this chat? Whoa. Man. Amazing. Yeah, well, if you like your Ross Rachel Brady, you can watch your Ross Rachel Brady. No problem there. I know Jax is a big fan of RRB. This picture was in the last 2 or 3 days, I think. I clicked on this was the Watch Nicholas channel. I clicked on it to see what was going on, and I saw this picture. Where's the picture? Here. Yeah, there it is. That's the show. There's the show. Marcelo Time Rainbow Alarm Clock Happy Holidays. So if you look for that show, it's the last 2 or 3 days. And there it is. That's the state of the Watch Nicholas channel. Pretty amazing, huh? What do you mean, what happened here, Morty? Nothing happened here. Nothing ever happens here. Okay, that's the end of the show. As I mentioned, I'm going to wrap it up around 12:30. Send them a fan letter, NATO. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know what the rainbow's for, but so let's end up on something a little more interesting to look at. Look at that. And time to end the show. Thank you all very much for watching. I want to thank tonight's donors to the show, of which there are none. Zero monetary donations, contributions to the show tonight. What a uplifting way for me to end the year with the zero cash support. Thank you. That's okay. Yeah, that's the way it works on this channel. I thought you were going to tell us one of them whipped it out or something. No, I don't know what they were talking about because I didn't watch it. I clicked on the channel. I saw that and said, oh, my God, and I took a screenshot and left. Exactly. Game over. Yeah. Happy New Year to everyone. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow night with more misery and depression. Maybe not. Maybe we'll get some great guests. Maybe I'll make 99 cents in the super chat. Great way to wind up the year. And that'll do it. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night and Happy New Year.